WebLogic, not only in WebLogic, in WebSphere also there is a concept called work manager, defining the work manager. So why is it required and what exactly is a work manager? We'll see now. So a work manager in WebLogic server is a logical policy that controls how and when threads are allocated to incoming application work. It provides quality of service for applications by managing thread allocation, request prioritization, and concurrency control. So usually imagine without a work manager, there is only a self-tuning thread pool. All the requests are coming in. There may be business critical applications. There may be non-business critical applications. There will be background job running, generating reports and latency applications. So how the resources are shared, which one should be prioritized first? Which one should get most of the system resources? You may have applications that needs quick response times, and you may have applications that may get high load. So in order to manage all these based on the type of application and type of criticalness and request prioritization and distribute the system resources, meaning the execute time by prioritizing based on few aspects for your applications in WebLogic, then we can use work manager feature, and it is a logical policy. So it is something like cluster. Cluster is a logical group of servers, right? So in the same way, a work manager in WebLogic is a logical, it is a policy that controls how and when the threads are allocated with the incoming, with the threads based on some rules that you create to incoming application work. So it is a quality of, it provides a quality of service for applications. So instead of having static thread pools per application, WebLogic uses single self-tuning thread pool, and now here it delegates scheduling decisions to work managers. Why? Because it is a policy and you will define the policy based on few constraints and your application's criticalness and the prioritization and distribution of resources. So whatever the values you provide with to create a work manager for your applications. So self-tuning thread pool, it delegates scheduling decisions to work manager to decide based on configured constraints and allocate the resources and threads accordingly, right? And why to use work managers? And work managers let you allocate more or fewer threads to certain applications or modules. So you may require more threads for some applications and fewer threads for few applications, non-business critical applications. You can set priorities for critical services like payments over reports. You can enforce maximum concurrency by protecting backend systems from overloaded. So if there is no limitation on concurrency, so what is a self-tuning thread pool? It does not have any limitation. You can control the limitation in the front end by limiting the number of requests or accepting the number of requests. But on WebLogic, per self-tuning thread pool, you cannot limit to open for only these many concurrent requests. So there the work manager gets into picture. So you can enforce maximum concurrency. You can limit it, okay, at a time simultaneously. This is a maximum number of threads or requests that should be allocated with the resources so that it can protect the backend systems from getting overloaded. So if I mention max threads concurrency is 50, so it will not exceed more than 50 by keeping the backend system not overheated. So if you don't configure it, let us say, for example, there is a database in the backend and you did not create a work manager policy, and your self-tuning thread pool is allocating 100, 200, 500 threads for concurrent requests. So your database will get overloaded by providing multiple number of database connections continuously and concurrently. So this is enforcing maximum concurrency. And you can prevent non-business critical applications from starving important ones. Okay. There may be some applications that is non-business critical, but the load is heavy. And there is a business critical application, and that is related to the financial services. Load is moderate. So if you don't configure Work Manager, your WebLogic self-tuning thread pool continuously allocates the threads based on the load for the non-business critical applications. So here there is it is getting deviated. What is deviated? The critical business critical application is treated same as the non-business critical application. So if the load is heavy on non-business critical applications, then it can make your business critical application to starve for system resources. So you can prevent that by defining